Hello, 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 hello. So on today's live, we're showing off the Kobra 3 and the A1 Mini. We're doing some calibration tests, big ol' difficult torture tests. For the most part, these printers print really well, but for really small parameters, like this shaft right here, they have a bit of trouble. So I'm trying to lock that in. And yeah, that's what we're doing. So we got a calibration test, the same one on the A1 Mini and the Kobra 3. If you have any questions about these 3D printers, feel free to put them in the chat. If you'd like to check them out, there's a little shopping cart down here that you can tap on. We're just gonna watch these puppies go. Something pretty cool I finished yesterday I want to show off. This is Sting, Lord of the Rings. This is Frodo's sword, and it actually glows blue in the dark, which is pretty cool. If you want any of this glow-in-the-dark filament, it's really impressive, like a really, really nice glow on it. I've got some link down here. This is Bamboo's Glow, this green one. And this is Sunlu. Yeah, I think this is super cool. Well, Bamboo Lab did start their Black Friday sale pretty early this year. I honestly don't think they understand how Black Friday sales work. But most of their printers are $100 off or more. I've got all of them linked down here if you're in the market for a 3D printer. If you have any questions about these, feel free to put them in the chat. We're just doing some calibration tests today. A1's got a bit of a head start, so we might hop over there. It's a bit further along. Also got a new print bed for the A1 Mini. This is the smooth PIE plate. Pretty nice. Yeah, you can get the A1 Mini right now for $199 and the A1 combo for $350 on the TikTok shop. So a pretty good deal. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments down here. Thanks for watching. This is the first finished calibration test I did off the Kobra 3. Pretty impressive as far as the bridging goes. Detail's pretty good. There's a bit of an issue with overhang at the really far extremes. I actually locked that in pretty well on the second try. That looks a lot better. So now I'm mainly focusing on this shaft and this ball right here, trying to get them to print really nicely. And this is the first calibration test I've done on the A1 Mini. So it'll be interesting to see how the two compare. Finally got your A1 2 days ago. Have you got it up and running yet? Pretty sweet machine. Yeah, bamboos are pretty dang impressive. All up and running, printed a few pieces, got it on the Black Friday sale. Let's go! If anybody else wants to get one of these on the Black Friday sale, tap a little shopping bag down here. He got the A1, which is a bit bigger than the A1 Mini. If you have any questions about the printers, feel free to put them in the chat. If you're enjoying the live, tap the screen a couple times and check out the products. Everything down there is at least $100 off. The P1P is $250 off for the Black Friday sale. And the X1 Carbon combos, $200 off too. So good deals all around. Problem I have is I never know what to print. There are so many. Dude, I printed this yesterday and I super love it. This is Sting, Frodo sword from Lord of the Rings. And I printed this in Sunlu glow in the dark, so when I turn the light out, watch this. Look at that. This is so freaking cool. It came out just great. Yeah. Bamboo's really, really impressive. This is bamboo glow in the dark. I also like it a lot. But Sunlu's, I mean, it's a close second. It's a really impressive glow to it. And I like how the filament color is white and the glow is blue. Really, really nice. But I've got some of that linked down below if anybody wants to try it out. I'm a big fan of it. Let me turn the light back on. So this is actually a pretty small version. This is like a hobbit-sized sword. So it fit on the Mini. I've got the glow-in-the-dark filament listed down here if you want to get you some. It's pretty cool. The one thing I do want to note about the Sunlu filament if we can get this to focus on here, is it does print better at lower temperatures. So the bottom half of this was printed at 220, which is pretty standard for PLA. And then I knocked it down to 200, and the layer lines are just a lot cleaner. There's not kind of this foggy, bubbled overness. It just looks a lot better. So I think I'm going to reprint that sword next at the lower temperature and see how much nicer it comes out. But again, if you guys have any questions about these printers, Bamboo's pretty user-friendly, really beginner-friendly. It's not hard to unbox these things and start printing the day you get them. I've had a lot of people have awesome results with these Bamboo printers, and they're all on sale right now if you want to tap a little shopping bag and take a look. Thanks for watching. You can put your question in here in the comments if you like. If you want to send me a message, you can do that as well. Somebody else might have the same question, so put it in the chat. Don't be shy. But if you'd rather send me a message, that's fine as well. For anyone who's just joined in, we're doing a head-to-head torture test calibration print on the A1 Mini and the Kobra 3 to actually see which one prints better, which I haven't seen anybody do, so I think that'll be fun. I have done a couple calibration tests on the Kobra already, and honestly, it's done a pretty dang good job. Like right at the extreme points, there's some tweaking that can be done, but as far as like normal printing, it's pretty impressive. Are you able to take a picture of something and convert it over to a 3D print? So there are a couple. There's like two different ways to do that. If you mean like a 3D object, like if you wanted to like scan this and then make a 3D file that's like three-dimensional, you can do that. There are apps for your phone that allow you to take a bunch of pictures and then create a 3D file out of it. If you're talking about like just a picture, like a 2D photo, you can do that as well. Let's see if I can find that. But they're called lithophanes, and Bamboo actually has a thing where you can create a lithophane just from a picture, which is pretty cool. I have one, but it's gone missing. I'm gonna try and track it down for you. But basically, yes. Like there's a couple steps to it, but it can be done. I just don't know where I put mine. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. If you want to get yourself a printer, tap a little shopping bag down here, pick you one out. Thanks for watching. That's actually pretty impressive bridging. Come on now. Pretty good. Yeah, that's fine. What am I making? So this is a calibration torture test for 3D printers. It helps you kind of lock in the settings. And honestly, I've gotten pretty decent results. So I'm just trying to lock in the small parameters on the Kobra right now. And I thought, you know, I'm running calibration tests. We might as well put one on the Bamboo and see how it does. So we're doing kind of a head-to-head torture test calibration on these bad boys. Kobra 3 versus A1 Mini. And for anyone who's like, oh, parts of this print look bad, it's supposed to be difficult to print. Like, that is literally the point of this print. So it brings out all the flaws of your printer so you can kind of hone them in. Shows you the limits of what your printer can do at its current settings. It's pretty handy. Is the A1 Mini good for beginners? Absolutely. I think it is probably the easiest to use 3D printer on the market right now. And if you get the AMS Lite, you can jump right into multicolor printing up to 4 different colors. And it's not hard to like learn or to do. They really hold your hand through the whole process. Bamboo's got a really nice like infrastructure for its users. So they've got a website where you can get the files. They've got free software for your phone and your computer to slice your files and control your printer. It's an excellent choice if you've never had a 3D printer before. And you can get an A1 Mini for $199 right now, which is a pretty wild price for like how good this printer is. So I would say definitely a good beginner 3D printer. Now, the one kind of issue or fallback of the A1 Mini is going to be its bed size. It's about 7.5 inches cubed, 180 millimeters. If you do want to print some bigger stuff, I would push you towards the A1. I kind of regret not getting the larger version of this printer just because of the bed size. It's about $100 more, and I definitely think if that's in your budget, it's a better idea to get the larger version. But the A1 Mini is pretty budget friendly, and it does a great job. If you have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you'd like to get a printer, tap the little shopping bag down here. If you're enjoying the live, tap the screen. We almost got 1,000 likes. Let's go. Let's go. Almost there. 100% recommend Bamboo. I love my A1. I'm telling you guys, these printers are freaking fantastic. At a great price right now. It's a great price, great printer, beginner friendly. Nothing better on the market than a Bamboo. Thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. 1,000 likes, let's go. And again, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Don't be shy. Yeah, so the $200 one is the A1 Mini. It's got the smallest bed out of all Bamboo printers at about 7.5 inches cubed, which is still, I mean, you can print like little swords like this on it. But the A1 is $100 more, so it's a $300 printer. And that print bed's about 10 inches cubed. Which plate does the smooth, shiny bottom? So that's going to be the Bamboo Smooth PIE plate. I actually just got one, and it looks super clean. I've got really, really nice prints off it so far. The printer does come with a textured plate. So this is the A1 Mini combo. It is $349. That is correct. For the printer and the AMS Lite. Lets you print with up to 4 colors. Pretty awesome. So yeah, guys, tap the shopping cart down here if you'd like to get one. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. So the A1 Mini is going to be the smaller one. The A1 is the larger one. And I've got both of them linked down here. For the larger frame with the AMS, I think it's $389 right now. $489. Yeah, it's just under $500. This is standard print speed. It is fast. The Kobra 3 is pretty fast too. Yeah, it's a hell of a little printer, guys. About 17 minutes left. How many printers do I have, and which would you say is the best? I currently have 4. 2 of them are kind of bricked, and then I've got the A1 Mini and the Kobra 3. As far as which one is best, it depends on like you a little bit. If it's your first 3D printer, I'd push you towards a bamboo, just because that ecosystem is a bit more beginner friendly. But if it's like your second or third 3D printer, the Kobra 3 is a really good choice, because it's got this built-in filament dryer, and you can actually hook up 2 of these ACE units to it, so you can have 8 different colors to print with, which is really cool. Got a nice big print bed on there as well, and it's a little cheaper than a bamboo. But this one, it takes a bit more work to get it to work compared to the bamboo. The bamboo is just going to be plug and play right out of the box. Really, really easy experience. As far as programs for bamboo, I use Bamboo Studio and the Handy mobile app. For the Kobra, I use Anycubic Slicer and the Anycubic mobile app. So these both have mobile apps that you can control them with, and they can both print with multiple colors. If you have any other questions, let me know. For sure, for sure. Bamboo's actually doing really pretty decent job until right now at the overhangs. But we're basically asking it to print on air at this point, which is pretty difficult. But I got the Kobra to do it. Like, look at that. So we'll go in and tweak a bit of the slicer settings. Get that fixed up. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you'd like to get a 3D printer, everything I've got listed down here is on sale on the TikTok shop, so go take a look. Thanks for watching. Now, the part of this torture test I'm really interested in seeing how the bamboo does is this tower with a ball on it. This is how the Kobra did on its first try. And honestly, once the ball started printing, it came out really nicely. In the past, when I've done this torture test, this it tends to break off. So it was nice to see a printer actually complete it. I want to see how the bamboo's going to do. What's the eye for? It is just attached to the extruder gear. It's mostly cosmetic. When this gear in here turns and pulls the plastic into the hot end, the eyeball moves around. If you want to learn more about it, I do have a pinned video on my TikTok profile all about the eyeball. Mostly it just looks cool. honestly, that looks pretty good. That's impressive. Does it print good with all filaments? So with the A1, it's an open body frame, so you can't really print like nylon or ABS on it. What I have printed with it has been PLA and PETG, and it's handled both of those really well. If you want to use like all filaments, you're probably going to need a printer with an enclosure, like the P1S or the X1 Carbon. They have a bit of a wider range of filaments you can print with. And I've got them listed down here in the little shopping bag. That's the P1S and the X1 Carbon. So for the most part, this calibration torture test came out really nicely. It does look like there's some issues with extreme overhangs, which we can tweak. Looking pretty good. I don't think so. I think the bed is pretty level. That's one issue I have not had with the A1 Mini at all. Is bed leveling. It is knocking that ball around a bit though. Again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. All the 3D printers I have listed down here are at least $100 off right now on the TikTok shop, so go take a look at those. I'll hop over here to the Kobra 3 real quick. I've got it running the same calibration torture test. So this is a test to see how good your printer settings are. For the most part, they're pretty good. Like, all the bridging is good. The XY box is good. And on extreme overhangs, I worked on the Kobra a bit, and that's looking much better. So it's mostly just like small parameters, like right here, that I need to hone in. But other than that, these printers are doing a pretty great job. That is interesting. So I actually thought the Bamboo was doing better on the ball, but the second half of it looks a little rough compared to the Kobra. Whereas the second half of this one, it's off the Kobra 3, actually looks better. If we can get it to focus. It's really smooth. And that looks not so great. That's surprising. Very interesting. This is how we learn, guys, by testing things. Pushing the limits. So for anyone who's curious, the main thing I'm focusing on is small parameters, like this tower right here. And typically slicers have a small parameter threshold of 0, which is super dumb. And I've knocked that up to 5 millimeters. So if anything is 5 millimeters wide or smaller, that's going to reduce the print speed. And I've knocked that all the way down to 10% of its normal print speed. So we're going to reprint this test with those changed settings and see if it comes out better. For anyone just joining in, we're doing torture calibration tests on the Kobra 3 and the A1 Mini today, trying to hone in our slicer settings. If you're in the market for a 3D printer, all of them I have listed down here, at least $100 off on the TikTok shop, so make sure to take a look. I do earn a small commission if you order through there, so I appreciate it. If you do have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Thanks for watching. Well, this is a calibration torture test. It's supposed to be hard to print. That's the point. So you can figure out how to print better. No, it's a rainbow filament. So it's like dark green and then yellow and then orange. Makes it look a bit weird, but it's on the bed. I think there's better ways to do it. Like with the issue would be the part sticking to the mold, I think. It's probably possible though. How's it going? Start over here on test number 2 on the bamboo. What was your old username? Who are you? Oh, okay. I remember you. There we go. Yeah. So if you're talking about like sand casting, yeah, I know people who do that with 3D prints. For sure. Oops. Kobra's almost done with its torture test. Doing a really nice job on this overhang part. Like, there's no stringing or anything hanging down. That's coming out really nicely. Going pretty good. How about yourself? Glad to hear it. It's pretty awesome. Name of the printer, this is the Anycubic Kobra 3. So this is a calibration torture test. I've got a couple of them finished over here. This is the first one I did on the Kobra, and it just kind of points out if you have any issues with your slicers on the extremes. So one thing I noticed with this is this extreme overhang right here had some drooping. So I went into my slicer and fixed some of those settings, so that looks a lot better. And now I'm working on this particular part right here, trying to get that looking nicer. This is the first one I did off the bamboo. And I went in and tweaked some of the settings on that as well. And we're working on test number 2 over here. So this is made specifically to be difficult to print in a bunch of different ways. And I'm tweaking my settings to get better and better results on my prints. Yeah. It is also nice to be able to visually compare what the Kobra can do to what the bamboo can do. For example, I was really surprised the top of this circle came out really, really nice and clear on the Kobra, but on the bamboo it actually printed too fast and stayed liquid and formed kind of this acorn shape. So that's interesting to see that the Kobra could handle something a bit better than the bamboo could, and this is without tweaking any of the settings. I did not expect that. So yeah, the Kobra's always surprising me. If anybody's in the market for a 3D printer, I've got quite a few listed down here. They're all at least $100 off right now on the TikTok shop. If you have any questions about them, please let me know. Thanks for watching. Noise. You have to make a poop bucket. I did. Got a little sliding trough, big old poop bucket. And got a poop bucket for this one too. And they're both pretty easy to remove and empty, which I like about the designs. Yeah. This one we got a big old poop bucket for. What do I recommend? For what? .3D printers? Honestly, if it's your first 3D printer, I think bamboo is probably the way to go. They're a bit more user-friendly, and their ecosystem is a bit more built out. There's just more people who have bamboo printers than have Kobra 3s. But it really also depends on your end use. If you're just printing with PLA, the A1 and the A1 Mini are awesome. If you're printing with PETG, I think the Kobra 3 is a bit of a better choice because it has a built-in filament dryer. And like if you want to print with ABS, you need something with an enclosure. Yeah, I'm still making jewelry. New to 3D printers, then the bamboo is probably the way to go. Yeah, like an A1 or an A1 Mini. Good choices. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. For anyone who's just joined in, we're doing a torture calibration test on the A1 Mini and the Kobra 3, and just trying to hone in on our slicer settings to get the best results. If anybody has any questions about these printers, feel free to put them in the chat. If you'd like to get one, all of them have linked down here in the shopping bag, or at least $100 off right now. Go take a look. Thanks for watching. Should I get the combo? If you can afford it, I think it's definitely a good idea. You can print with up to 4 different colors. You can also, like if you have a larger print or a pretty close to empty spool, it's able to switch from one to the other if it's the same type and color while it's printing, which is pretty handy. I like the AMS combo a lot. Typically, the AMS lite, this thing up here, is like $250 by itself. So to be able to get this and the printer for like $350 is a pretty good deal. If you just want to print in one color, you can totally just get the A1 Mini by itself for $199. But multicolor printing is pretty awesome. And if you can do it, why wouldn't you? Sounds like a plan, my man. No, I don't think it's 2 for $350. So there's two options on the listing. There's the printer by itself for $199 and the printer and the AMS Lite. And it's this thing up here for $350. So you get this and the printer. This lets you print with up to 4 different colors. For anyone who's just joined in, we're doing a calibration torture test on the A1 Mini and the Kobra 3. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments.